I'm Dave Fitzsimmons. I'm the editorial cartoonist and humor columnist for the Arizona Daily Star. We're in beautiful Tucson, Arizona, and we are in my studio, Fitz's studio. So I come in here generally around 7. First thing I do is I swallow as much internet news as I possibly can. And then I devote a year and a half to answering the 3,000 emails. And by then, somehow, magically, ideas start to appear in my head. And then I venture over here to my beloved drawing board. And then I will sit here and sketch and ink until about 11, maybe noon. I do a lot of cartoons about public education or about gun control. I hope that those cartoons will provoke readers into thinking. It will be seen in anywhere between 700 to 800 sites around the world. And then when I'm finished with a drawing I like, I'll scan it and add color through Photoshop, send it off by generally 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then more hate mail comes in.
Let's check the old message machine and see what's on there tonight.
Hey, I see your cartoon, I guess you want to call it. Classy, give him the finger. That's really nice. You are one stupid bastard, I swear to God. How you survive, I never know. I told you need to get a real job, like making wooden assholes for hobby horses. I think you might qualify for that. Go yourself, asshole.
Hey, Mr. Left-Winger. Why don't you try to be fair and balanced instead of proselytizing your left-wing bull? What an asshole you are. Enough said. Watch out.
In America, we have a great tradition of enjoying satire. So, of course, as a consequence of being a political cartoonist and talking about politics, great word, poly, Latin root meaning many, ticks, blood-sucking leeches. Curiously enough, not every American citizen or world citizen agrees with my perspective on the issues. So, yes, I do get hate mail, and yes, I love my hate mail. If I don't get hate mail, I feel so distressed. I'm not doing my job. Great example of hate mail. I have one right here for you. Dear blank. Blank you. Blank your blanking cartoons. Why don't you blank your cartoons up your blank? Signed, Anonymous. Yeah, like I couldn't recognize my mother's handwriting. Right, okay, sure. Too easy. And I think I probably won't say much about this fellow since I've got at least another 2 years.
I'm very lucky when I've brought this issue up to other cartoonists to talk about this, because I get a lot of supportive mail. It took me a long while to grow accustomed to praise, because honestly, that's really the last thing a satirist is ever hoping for. We're actually hoping to be shot at. I did recently draw a cartoon about a fallen American warrior in the Middle East, because it's just not noticed when these deaths occur. It doesn't make it above the fold anymore. Every death of that nature matters to me, because I grew up in a military family. I'm the first civilian in generations of real men. Both of my brothers served in Vietnam. My father was a master sergeant. So I have a keen understanding of what it's like for a family. When my brothers came back from Vietnam, they slapped the ROTC officer's manual out of my hand. They said, you know, the military's not for you. You're the kind of guy who will be killed first day out by your own men. And one of my brothers said, you know, you got to find another form of service. I thought, well, I was working for the college newspaper. Journalism sounds good, so that's the direction my life took, thanks to them. And I found I loved the newsroom environment. I loved the people in the newsroom.
Hey, buddy.
Something about reporters and newsies, they're just the most interesting, vigorous people I know, the most intellectually vigorous people I know.
You either really like him or you really don't. And you don't have to agree with him to like him. He has a lot of fans. And I hear from them on letters to the editor of, I don't agree with you, but you hit the nail on the head and you get it. He gets a response either way. I don't mean to say that he's just throwing firebombs just to get a response. What he does is thoughtful, insightful in many ways, and sometimes just downright funny. So, love him or hate him, you can't be neutral on David Fitzsimmons.
Having been a journalist for 30 years and seen government up close, our democracy is a functioning marvel, and it's certainly well worth preserving. You know, like Franklin and others said, it is worth pledging our sacred honor to preserve and protect. And I feel that way about my newspapers. And I hope that those cartoons will provoke readers into thinking. And I sometimes am so vain, how ridiculous, right? I'm so vain as to think that perhaps my voice will be part of a collective chorus that might affect actual political change in our country. I was kidding. I didn't mean that part, yeah.